Hey yo, what's up? This is Cool Eagle back at you in another video. Just want to come talk to you guys. Obviously, this is not at the most grandest of moments, as our Philadelphia Eagles have choked away their playoff destinies, much like the Dallas Cowboys did at home. Um, no matter what the score tells you, the final score told you, we just couldn't do anything today. It seemed this team just came out flat from the beginning. This defense couldn't stop anybody on third down. The Eagles offense on the other side goes inept on third down. Towards the end of the game, we saw the Philadelphia Eagles be 0 of 9 on third down, 8.2 average yards to go. And we just couldn't find an answer to the blitz that Tampa Bay was clearly going to do from the time that we knew about it last week. On 18 of 27 of Jalen Hurts' dropbacks, this graphic came up in the third quarter. He's being blitzed, and we knew what we were going into coming into this game against Tampa Bay at home. Something that I told you guys I am not 100% confident on, and like a lot of Eagles fans, I bought into the conspiracy that this Eagles team was going to somehow flip a switch and turn on into the playoff, despite being 1 of 5 in their last 6 games going into the playoffs. And a lot of these losses came against, well, almost half of these losses came against. Actually, I'm gonna say half these losses came against bottom tier teams. A Drew Lock led Seattle Seahawks team. Then you go into Philly and you lose to Kyler Murray led Jonathan Gannon led Arizona Cardinals team, and then you lay a goose egg in the last game of the year that you didn't have to play if you'd have just took care of business the previous 2 weeks. And you get your quarterback hurt. A.J. Brown was out for the game. That showed its ugly head in this game versus Tampa Bay, where it seems like nobody could get any kind of separation. We had no answer for the blitz. Again, Jalen Hurts getting pressured on 18 of 27 dropbacks, something that has not been done in NFL playoff history. And this goes back to the comments Nick Bosa made post that horrific loss to the 49ers, where it seems like they found a blueprint to stop Jalen Hurts. If you're blitzing him, this Philadelphia offense has no kind of short passes, no kind of beat the blitz breakers, none of that. Jalen Hurts is just basically out there defending his own. And I know what the critics are going to say. I know the critics are going to say. They're saying that Jalen Hurts somehow can't read the blitz, even though if you look at his numbers from 2022 versus the blitz, they are astronomically better than what we're seeing now in this game versus Tampa Bay, the third most blitzing team in the NFL. And we had no answer for it. Levante David and the other linebacker they had, they weren't laying the hammer every time somebody came across that middle. Those corners, they weren't allowing nothing deep. They were playing a two shell safety look. So they was daring us to throw over the middle. But for some reason, according to AWS, the Eagles did little to no kind of scheming in taking advantage of Tampa Bay's weakness on defense, which is throwing in the middle of the field. We had no kind of scheme for that. I think the whole vibe of the team just went away once Julio Jones went in for a concussion protocol. Then after that, it's just like the defense couldn't buy a stop. Now what I will commend the defense for is holding Tampa Bay to 19 points, 16, 19 points going into the third quarter, where the Eagles got the ball first and really didn't do anything with it. I can't ask the defense who was already struggling with tackling, and we're not going to go to that because I've already told you guys. James Bradbury needs to be out of here with Nick Sirianni. We need to do a complete overhaul of this defensive personnel and find a defensive coordinator that is going to set the tone with this defense, not only from a play calling aspect, but from a coaching aspect. Because we heard from the commentators that this defense was trying to find an identity when the Eagles switched from Sean Desai to Matt Patricia, and that's something that they've been struggling with. And identity is something that this defense has been struggling with for a while, because you heard reports of Sean Desai having a little confidence in himself in his schemes, and rightfully so, because when you have your job on the line every week, I mean, why would you not? Like that anxiety probably poured off onto the personnel, like, which is probably why you didn't see the best out of Jalen Carter, that the best out of Jordan Davis, the best out of Nolan Smith, the best out of Darius Slay, the best out of a Shaquille Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you would have got more production out of James Bradbury, who at this point has just lost all confidence. The way he was getting beat like an African drum out there, this game could have been so much worse. So much worse if Mike Evans just catches the ball on 2 go routes, both of which James Bradbury and Darius Slay were a part of. So let's not act like this game just couldn't have gotten worse. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team coming into this game with a questionable quarterback because of his ankle rib injuries, I didn't see none of that. Man. Like, Baker Mayfield found his swagger back against his defense. I think he 337 yards and 3 touchdowns, and more 100% got him a contract going into the future with this Tampa Bay team, which is something that they got to be happy about. But when you're an Eagles fan, this puts a fork in you for the entire season, because now you have to do a complete overhaul of the defensive side of the ball. You might have Jason Kelce retiring. You got a question at head coach, like whether you're going to fire him or not. And if you don't fire him, there's going to be a huge January 6th like insurrection riot at NovaCare, demanding the firing and release of Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson. But like I told you guys in a previous video, Brian Johnson is not the problem. Because if Brian Johnson was so much the problem on this team, why is he getting 2 head coach offers? Like, you think these teams don't know the internals of other teams going on in the league? Like, you think these general managers and owners of these teams don't talk with each other, don't convene and talk about what's going on with the teams? Like, I'm sure GMs and owners don't just go home and vent to their wives about the shit, and they go vent with other NFL wives, and somehow that spreads around and all that. Like, no. These people actually talk and do analytics. This is not Brian Johnson's offense. And I'm very, very, very curious, while also excited to see what's going to go on in this offseason, because there has to be a lot of change across the board. A lot of change across the board, man. Because this team just laid flat. We had no answer for the blitz. We abandoned the run early. This Nick Sirianni offense just didn't do Jalen Hurts any favors. Devontae Smith gave his all. We need to just give him a blank piece of paper and tell him how much he wants to get paid. Because when A.J. Brown's out the game, we know A.J. Brown is we know Devontae Smith is going to give his all. And he gave us 10 receptions, 148 yards. I can't ask for anything more than that. Because outside of him, who else was stepping up? We didn't see Goddard. We didn't see Gainwell. We didn't even see no Boston Scott. We didn't see no Olamide Zaccheaus. We saw a little sprinkles of Quez Watkins, but the catches he made didn't make a whole lot of sense and didn't really do a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So this game was just done to me in the first quarter, because when you allow a team to go up 10-0 on you and you don't have a response after they score, and then you're allowing your quarterback to get blitzed. And I know and this is another thing. I know we talk about how the play calling, the scheming and all that versus the blitz is horrible, but has anybody ever seen Jalen Hurts make a protection call at the line? Does he ever call max protection? Does he ever call out the blitzer who's coming? Does he understand? Now, I understand his numbers are good, but when I look back, I still never saw him make those changes at protection at the line like that. But maybe y'all can help me out with that. Maybe y'all can tell me what y'all's thoughts are on that in the comments. But we need to look into that, because it's okay to talk about what the coaches aren't and are doing versus the blitz. But where is Jalen Hurts accountable? Because I can tell you that there are a lot of plays where Jalen Hurts is getting blitzed, and there are a sprinkle of times the coaches do the right thing, or maybe the wide receiver or whoever just comes back and recognizes what's going on and just gets themselves open. And Jalen Hurts is just not taking the open man. I know there are a lot of plays like that. So this is not all on the coaches, but if we're talking about the ratio of blame to give, it's definitely 75-25 for sure. Because the coaches, they're not they're not galvanizing these guys properly to play in big moments. They're not setting these guys up for success on the offense or defensive side of the ball. Because why do you continue to let James Bradbury get beat like that? Why do you not put in the other rookies? Because if you're getting burnt with them, then what you're going to get out of a rookie, a fresh body, is can't be any worse. It can't. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad that this whole division is just now out the playoffs. The Cowboys, obviously, they took worse of a beating because they got their ass beat at home, 48-16, and then we know what empty calorie Dak do. He runs the score up, gets himself 400 yards, and Cowboys get themselves like a few more points to make the game closer than what it was. But this game was over at 48-16, and and the Cowboys already got their smoke. They had the expectation to go all the way because they had opportunity to have 2 home playoff games where they are the best at. Where the Eagles, we've been talking about fire Brian Johnson, fire Nick Sirianni. Like we had low expectations going into this team, going into Tampa Bay. We didn't even expect to even beat Tampa Bay, but we at least wanted it to be competitive to where we can say, okay, at least we can feel good knowing this was just a bad season, even though the coaches are still a huge concern and certain personnel in the linebacking group, but hey, it is what it is. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. This has been a beautiful season. Obviously, we still have more content to go with our Philadelphia Eagles and around the league. We're going to discuss that tomorrow. Just stay ready, stay tuned. If you're Eagles fan, hey man, like I'm praying for you, you pray for me. Hey man, we're still in this together. I still feel like we have the best team in the division. We just got a few things to fix, and we're going to go over all those this off season. And I will continue to report on what's going on around the NFL as far as the playoffs. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. But it's just my raw reaction to the horrid sight I've seen from my Philadelphia Eagles. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations to all the teams that did what they need to do to advance next weekend. And this week we'll just continue to talk more about around the league and Eagles related stuff. And other than that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night and have a fantastic start to your week. And happy Martin Luther King. See y'all.